Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're starting a new video game which called The House in Fata Morgana, which is a visual novel that existed for, I think over a decade now. This is a really old game. It's been right here for quite some time. Now, the reason I'm playing this game is because I heard it was a really good visual novel, and it was sitting in my Steam library for over a year now because I end up buying it. I really want to play it, but I end up buying it and, just never playing it for some reason. I bought it on a discount. And a little bit of background on myself, I said it before, I watched a lot of anime. I'm this close to 6,000 episodes under my belt. That's a lot. And I know there's some probably anime connoisseur here with like 10,000 episodes, but trust me, 6,000, it's a lot. It is a lot. And in terms of visual novels, I only played two. I played Doki Doki Literature Club, which is the more famous one, I believe. And yeah, it was amazing. I heard there's planning to do a sequel or some spiritual successor. Still waiting on that. And the second one I played was the most famous one, Muv-Luv. I played the completed edition that contains both the first part and the second part. It's over 100 hours of gameplay, and to be fully transparent, I did not enjoy it. I thought it was bad writing, but some people may disagree, some people want to kill me. And that's fine, that's my opinion. I just did not enjoy it, but we're not gonna go into that now. And anyway, I heard the house in Fata Morgana was incredible. It's really mature. So, really quite different from anything I've uploaded thus far, but I do want to upload variety. Of course, this game is not gonna hurt the consistency of my other games. I'm just gonna do this as to supplement and to feed the algorithm. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it because I'm super excited for it. It's been, wow, so many years. The last one I played was Muv-Luv, the visual novel, so it's been so many years since I played a visual novel already. Just by looking at this and hearing the music, I just get nostalgic. So it's incredible. And I guess we're just going to start. Of course, we can get rid of this like black borders here because the game is so old, so we're just gonna have to suffer this. But I hope my camera doesn't really bother you. If it will, I'll just move it. So for now, let's just start. By the way, it's not a super long game, but it's not short. Definitely not short. I think it's about 25 hours. It's a bit less than Lies of P gameplay. I believe Lies of P was 30 something hours. Yeah, so pretty good overall. Let's enter the mansion. Man, I'm getting so nostalgic. It's been such a long time. Holy. Of course, I'm gonna read everything, by the way. And hopefully my English won't be too broken. There is a house. That sits beyond dark, dense woods. Like the world fading into view after a dream. That old mansions appear before you. Without realizing it. You instinctively accept as truth the event unfolding before you. The house live in perpetuity, an amalgam of myriad fates and generations. No one knows who first said. The music is great. That the mansion was cursed. Wow, this gets me so nostalgic. Oh my god. I'm feeling old and I'm literally 25. That reminds me of the good old days as a teenager watching like old animes at the time. It's been such a long time. By the way, this is, I believe, psychological horror, if I didn't say it before. Not something like scary or anything, just psychological. The house in Fata Morgana. Oh god. Wow, it's literally a blast from the past. I'm getting goosebumps. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Have mercy on me, O Father. And cast their souls into eternal damnation. I was looking down upon a corpse. Oh, I need to click now? I was looking down upon a corpse. Oh wait, I right click and it literally makes the text go away. My own corpse. I was afflicted with a great despair at the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion. My soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me. And so, I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you. That I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrive there once more. Oh God. Your consciousness, wavering like a sheep at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. Terror. With each new breath, feeling gradually returned to your fingers. Master. You could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master. And the sound of a crackling fire. Wake up, Master. Creak, creak, creak. Wake up. When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Oh, splendid. You have finally awoken. Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. Oh, hello. Good morning, Master. Good morning. Oh, I need to pick one. Let's say good morning. Nice. Hee. What is the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come on now, you must gather yourself. Though I am glad to hear your voice, I've simply been waiting so long for this moment. tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. You were perplexed. This woman who looked like a maid seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves if you would like, or perhaps your tastes have changed since last we met. Tell me, master, what would you like? I beg your pardon? I allowed myself to get too excited, but I hope you will be sympathetic, master. I'm just utterly elated that I could see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps life was a more appropriate word than energy. But the gloom extended beyond the maid. It seems to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace and the rose engravings in the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered that familiarity. It seems as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet. Oh my, you do not know who I am. Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve? The woman's face was pale, almost as though a faint chill ran down your spine. You are the master of this house, though it would seem you have no memories of such. Quite a dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me, no? Indeed, you have returned, but from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. The freshly awakened gears in your hand began to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you master of this house, but without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you looked like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nodded. Let us be off then. And I fear not. I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. You should hold it tightly. You need not to worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what... Oh. Wait. Oh, there's a... accidentally... Oh, nice. That's good. You can actually scroll the mouse wheel up and it will just put you here. No matter what happens, you must never let go of my hand. Your hand in hers, you followed the maid leads through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. Let's look at the mansion. Oh god, it's unsettling. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door. The glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side. Though it is in the state you now see it, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond this door. The owner of the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. At its grandest, it seems every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful eras of splendor and prosperity? Hee hee hee. I very much hope it is to your liking, master. The maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the door. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. Okay. The first door. (1603). Is that the year? Or... Move the cursor to the bottom right corner of the screen to display the in-game menu. You can save and load your progress and change settings there. Dimension had an alluring air of beauty in that area. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. The spirit of history could not be described as a symphony of destruction, as cumbersome principle of old came crashing down. But what is this god-awful music? Oh, this is the thing that I spoke about. This is how you save? What in God's name? How am I supposed to read this? How do you save? Window. What is this? Oh, there it is. Save. Okay, let's click. In slot 1. Yep. Wow, it reminds me, dude, even the saving reminds me such of like the good old days. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, that the people seemed to hark back to the more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took this newly blossoming emotion in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripped era from the tree of history, but it is of no concern to us now. The ripened. At the time, it was still what people refer to as the Golden Age, a period of furor for all who were there. Music is giga unsettling. Now, let us take a slight detour. No, we'll not be changing location. This is a tale about dimension from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time. Say, about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother and father, brother and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. See? There I am, standing around looking rather a fool. I see some sort of like a watermark. Like, are there? Nothing seemed like too clear here. I was happy back then. And what reason did I have not to be? Afforded the opportunity to attend such a beautiful home. So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely, if you would. That soft, fleeting sound that could only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it? Oh, la 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 la. The girl you see, cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird, was called Nellie. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house garden, and she would often spend her afternoons there. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care and even had their thorns removed, so young Nellie would not hurt herself, naturally. The light brown-haired girl carefully plucked petals from the roses, gathering them up as she sang. Her voice was like music played by fairies. Nay, the sight of her like an angel descended from heavens. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful. But what is a woman if not fanciful, Higgy? Little bird singing night and day. For your little birdie heart, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little birds. And even when the sun comes up, oh, dearest Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening? Mel. Nellie was, as a matter of fact, not the only visitor to the rose garden that day. She always came with her older brother, Mel. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree, reading a book. As I'm sure you are aware, in their time, books could not yet be mass-produced. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. I presumed he had borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over the years, was visibly torn, but I suppose it just speaks to its importance. It was, in fact, a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at the time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced text. Dearest Mel, please. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hands, she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boy still did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, thrust out her slender arms, and let petals fall. Ah! Hee, look, your head is covered in roses, Mel. Oh, Nellie, you get petals on the book. This isn't mine, I can't afford to let it get dirty. It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. And besides, flower won't get a birthday, dear. I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit? While waiting for you, dearest Mel. I waited, and you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book. Wow, that soon? That soon. Mother says girl grows up fast. Ha, she may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely, you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult. That's not true. I'll still play with you, even when I'm grown up. But grown-ups don't play, Nellie. Fine, I'll stay out shut forever then. Didn't you just say you were about to grow up? Nah. You're so mean, Mel. Heh, I'm sorry. Please don't pout, my little lady. Wow, some brotherly love in here. Surely, nothing bad will happen. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whatever you want today. Really, do you mean it? I want to play make-believe. Make-believe? Make-believe. I will be the princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight. And then, you turn into a prince when you rescue me. A knight can become a prince? Impressive. They can. Knight and princesses both have to be charming, so of course they can. Which is why it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else can be my prince, or my knight. While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed, as his rose-cheeked sister proclaimed patently, I'm certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few moments, he meekly knelt to bring himself to eye level with Nellie and gently stroking her soft hair. Alright then, you're my princess, Nellie. And not just anyone princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So, don't be anyone else's prince but mine, okay? Nellie. Jeez, my princess is quite the fawner. Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me? Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nellie. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dear princess. Hee hee. I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my prince, forever and ever. Her mood quite improved. Nellie began humming the melody of the song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Oh, Nelly, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nelly. They were a picturesque sibling brimming with hope, and at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though the pleasant, gentle time in our life have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow, impartial and without exception, and as such, everyone's childhood come to an end. Be that as it may, does time also flow in the same speed for each individual? Now let us take a trip down the river of time. I would be very much delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately, we cannot. Please do not let go of my hand, Master. What is this? I'm trying to, understand. Trip through time. Oh, they're all older now. Okay, let's save. That's overwrite. I don't want to lose any track. I'll be on my way then. So this is Mel, but he's older now. Oh, you usually stay for longer. Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time, as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week? Next week or the week after. Hold on to it as long as you like. But surely there are others who want to use it. None as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes, and you'll understand. That's the priest talking, by the way. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Huh? Oh, do you not believe me? No, I believe you, Father. And I mean to do whatever I cannot to disappoint you. That's the spirit. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. Ah yes, and Mel, do you consider what we were talking about? Going to university? Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There is very little left for me to teach you, and I believe you would make a fine priest. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord. I'll give it some thought. If you'll excuse me then, I'll see you again. Our doors are always open. Farewell. Mel, oh, this is his full look, by the way. Whether it's in the service of God or the service of the church, it is an honorable profession. But theology, I wouldn't mind attending university, but I'm not sure. I'd kind of like to do something different, something more befitting of the times. As for what though, I'm stumped. But I need to make my mind up soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even my father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me. Beggar. Young sire. Bless young sire. Alms. Alms for the poor. This beggar. If I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week. Alms. The way he shakes his head. I can get a glimpse of his forehead underneath his hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this. Ah, thank you. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless your soul. Thanks, the Lord. Oh no, Nellie's going to be cross if I don't hurry home. Curses, and it looks like it's going to rain. Master, Master. Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have a firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you would accidentally let go of my hand. Hee. Now, Master, this is the period of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he would from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was, in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church on Sundays to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by an eminent marquis. Though it was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows, they studied at a Merkey's estate. Secondary and higher education was not the same as it is today, and Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding what he should do. That he had such a choice is envious, is it not? Mel, good afternoon. I'm here to pick up my order. Is it ready? Aye, ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Oh, don't call me young master, please. I beg your pardon. Can it seem to get my head out of the past? Your order's right here, sir. Mel had stopped at a jewelry store in the center of the town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and a storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wear. He was so skilled, even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of a piece of its jewelry said to be on display in the palace. And artistry flourished in the Golden Age. The number of shops selling luxurious items such as jewelry rose in kind. However, the clientele of these shops comprised a very narrow range of people. May I have a look? Of course, of course. Good, it came across just as I hoped. Splendid work. Hee. Can I afford to disappoint a loyal customer like yourself? An admirable work ethic. I'm sure she'll love it. Such a kind lad, young master. My boy back home could do well to learn the thing it through from you. Every man out to show woman some cordiality. Come home to a cold fireplace is a sad thing indeed, huh? Again, please don't call me young master. My apologies. I'll take this and be on my way then. Good day. If you find yourself in need of aught else, just let me know. If I can make any jewelry you ask for, I can make it. Come to me, and your sweetheart day will be sure made. And I guarantee the two of you will have all sorts of fun when you give it to her. Please, I don't have a sweetheart. Ha, well that's a surprise. I'm sure many girls are vying for your hand, too, young Master Rhodes. A fine family, good looks, charming, and your future all but... I'll be on my way then. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Good day. Come by again anytime. Goodness. Maybe I'll say I want to study abroad or something. Patient as my father may be, that would certainly anger him. I can hear it now. You're wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and rank, go somewhere far away. So he wants to escape his family. Or at least his family name. Ha, that sounds like the kind of plan Nelly would come up with. Back home, as he drew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, the distinctive scent had led visitors to refer to the house as Rose Manor. It was also probably a play on the flaxen-haired family last name, Rhodes, which you heard the owner of the jewelry store say just moments earlier. The mansion looked quite different than it does now, no? No thickets of ivy covering the walls and no rotten, broken doors to be found. I wonder what the Rhodes family would think if they saw the house in its present tragic condition. So it is the same house. That's interesting. So we somehow going into the past and see whatever history went and decide the home? The sight of their abundability, blooming roses, a variable symbol of prosperity, long since withered and turned into soil. My apologies, I got a little sentimental there. Let us forget for a moment about our own time. I suppose I stayed out a little too long. Oh well, the sun still shines high in the sky. I'm sure it's... Oh my god! That actually scared me for a second. Ah! Dearest, dearest Mel, what took you so long? Where have you been? I've been waiting forever. Nelly? You're not in the house? Nope, you were taking so long I decided to wait by the gate. But you didn't even notice me at all. Is that any way to treat a lady? All that studying got your head stuck in the clouds. No, it hasn't. Really. Also, you're heavy. Could you please get off my back? Heavy? Let's see Nelly now. Ooh, a fine young lady indeed. They grow up. I've been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat, and I love sweets. To maintain my figure for a new dress, and you call me heavy? I didn't catch that. Were you saying a tongue twister? Just such a dimwit Mel, jerk, blockhead, weakling, and obnoxious to boot. Whatever happened to the delightful little girl who was once my sister? She'd probably throw a fit if I said that out loud. Should you really be outside, Nelly? You are the star of today's event. It's fine. They can call it a birthday party, but I know it's just about fraternizing. It's obvious that what Father true motive are. He'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off to. I have no interest in that at all. Don't be like that, Nelly. They are all here for you. At least enjoy what you can of the party. Grr. I guess, and besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at this, dearest Mel. What do you think? What do I think? About what? About what? Mel! My new dress. It arrived. I'm wearing it. How could you not notice? I did notice it was something I hadn't seen before, but you have so many dresses, Nelly, so... But this is the dress I'd made just for today. Look at the colors, they're so pretty. It's the work of a renowned dyer. And this belt is just lovely. You see how it comes together to form a butterfly? Oh, it does. I didn't even notice that. Oh, I'm just absolutely in love with it. I think I'll be wearing this dress for a while to come. So, tell me, what do you think? Does it look good on me? Yeah, it does. It's pretty. In some ways, I guess she's still a delightful little girl. Oh, dearest Mel, I love you. Another hug? Whoa, don't jump on me like that. Oh my, you dropped something. And what we have here. Wait, hold on. No, you can't have that yet. Is it a present? Give it back. I was going to give that to you later. I knew it, it's for me. And just what could it be? Hey, don't open it. What's the big deal? It's going to be mine soon anyway, isn't it? Nelly, oh, I love it. A rose necklace, and this design is from the jeweler the royal family uses. Oh, my dearest Mel, you had this made just for me. Oh, geez, it defeats the purpose if you open it before the party. Happiness is always better sooner rather than later, Mel. I think I'll put it on right away. Interesting line right there. There, how does it look? It looks lovely. Okay, you can see it right here. Nice. I love the fact that they actually added that. My prince is still the sweetest in all the land. By the way, this is the rose background, the rose watermark. I just now noticed that. Don't make such weird noises. Oh, but why not? A prince always knows exactly what his princess wants. And this princess wanted some rose jewelry to go with her new dress. Understand, hee? Jeez, I'm sure don't have it easy playing your prince. It might be about time you find a new one. A prince is a prince because you can't just find one standing on a street corner. If you want to retire, dearest Mel, you're going to have to wait another 10 years. That's a long time. Or if you find yourself a new princess. Not so, you're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. But worry not, your adorable sister will always be your princess. What more could you want? Are we really allowed to be the judge of that? I mean, more to you than any other girl in the world, do I not? True. Then that makes me your perfect princess. Hey, what was it? Laugh and it'll all be over soon, laugh. You're always telling me I mean more to you than mean more than anyone to you. Yes, you do. More than anyone in the world, my beloved baby sister. I'll take good care of that necklace. Thank you, my dearest Mel. Well, if you're happy with it, then so am I. You're very welcome. Now, back into the house with you. Can't have a party without a guest of honor. Do you know if anyone is here yet? Nope. I imagine they'll be here soon though. Did it? Were you down at the church again today, Mel? Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up. Wow, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there, personally. Actually, I kind of feel the same way. What, really? Why? Well, you know, I have my reasons. So even you don't always like the priest, huh? Let's skip mass on Sunday then. We can go play. No skipping church. Oh, a good religious boy. Good of you. As grew the brother, so did the sister. That day, Nellie would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. You saw it with your own eyes, so you know how much she had changed. She was always a cute little girl, and she grew into an even more beautiful young woman. Though she was only 13, she was on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, well, but a girl like that has her own charms, would you say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings mature into healthy young adults, but the core of their relationship did not change the slightest. Nellie was very much attached to her brother as much as Mel complained. He still cared deeply for his sister. Around the time the sun had begun to set, carriages started lining up outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. As Nellie had suspected, the majority of them were boys. Wait, let's save. Every time we're gonna go through like a big thing like that, we're gonna save. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Rose Manor, right? Okay, we'll go together. Me? Alone? No, please don't make me. The inhabitants of Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives. And I'm sure they don't remember a thing. Huh. The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testaments to their great fortune. The servant's first assignment every morning was to clean this room. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware were polished to a shine so they could be proudly put to use at a moment's notice. And for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served an even more important role. The tabletops were removable, so they had ordered new tabletops with designs made especially for this occasion. And once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables speckled with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candied fruits were moved off to the side to make room for, of course, the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nellie. You're looking particularly lovely today. Nellie, I had these jewels cut just for you. You'll let me have this dance, won't you? Oh, so many boys want to hit on her. Shameless. On her birthday. What's the matter, Nellie? You look exhausted. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. They're apple candied in rock sugar, I think. You disappoint me, dearest Mel. What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming. It never ends. It's driving me up the wall. Everyone just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They all think pretty jewels and requested dance are enough to make a girl swoon. But I think it's true for you, Nellie. Though, why is she disappointed with me? Or I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year. They'll probably throw another big one next year. Huh, why? Well, you know, you're about that age, Nelly. We are a reasonably distinguished family, so there are a number of different houses that would like to have a connection with us. So, so what you're saying is do it for the family. No, that's not. I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as a pawn in their inter-family politics. Pawn? I wouldn't go that far. And I'm sure father wants to let you choose yourself. You know, someone you actually love. Love? I never thought I would hear you talking about love, dearest Mel. You don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's play beautiful, and you're talking about love. Ooh, that's like a 1603 burn right there. You fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet and you're talking about love. We went all the way out to the Globe Theatre too. Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts. But you're not, Nelly. Shakespeare make-believe stories made you cry like a baby. Anyone could cry at that. Would cry at that. You'd have to be crazy to sleep through it. That's not what I'm saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nelly, would have no problem finding love. Ah, dearest Mel, we should dance. Lady Nelly, could I have this? Let's dance, dearest Mel. What? Me? Wait a... Come on, I really like this song. Quit pulling on me, Nelly. What's the point of us dancing with sibling? Mother and father are staring daggers at us. No matter what day it is today, dearest Mel. Your birthday. Exactly. So I can do what I want. Now, attend to your princess as a proper prince should. Oh jeez, how did I get myself into this? Nelly's skirt fluttered along with her as she stepped in time to the music. She was not only a skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet trying to keep up. One would be hard-pressed to describe his dance abilities as good, even as flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lesson, he found himself more being dragged around by his sister. He could hardly be said to be attending to her. This is humiliating. Because his parents had been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mel looked like a tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall, he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter. Come now, dearest Mel. If this is the best you can manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye? I won't, so it doesn't matter. So insistent on that. Follow my lead, Mel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nelly had long enjoyed her time dancing with her brother, and quite thoroughly at that. It didn't matter to her that he moved awkwardly or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure, just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough and stop the music. A ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance. What could that be? Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared. The music came to a stop and the party guests began bustling. The sibling father spoke up sternly above the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. He ordered the servants to investigate, had the music restarted, gave a short apology for interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to go check on the entrance with the other servants, as I recall. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which dwell within the mansion. Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective then? That is not what confused you. Well, your question shall be answered in time. In time. Now, let us return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, their father's decisive action restored the guests' festive mood in short order. So it was not by any means the commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. Oh dear, I hear a thunder. It was rather loud too. Sounds like we have quite storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable. Rain was a frequent occurrence here. There. The stretches of time with clear skies grew longer as summer approached, but the weather was still somewhat unstable on the cusp of the two seasons. They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little spears on the window. Were the party to continue on any longer, no one would be able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nelly had not gone on with any of the aristocrat boys, he decided to cut the festivities short. Saved by the rain. Thank goodness it ended early. How lucky I am. This must be a blessing for being such a good girl. I'm not sure having your own birthday party cut short count as lucky. But it was no fun. I can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. And for heaven's sake, Arthur was here. I have no interest in dancing with that dunce. Arthur, who's that again? Someone who was there? Unbelievable. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mel? He came over to play a few times when we were little. He's covered in gross freckles and he's a huge jerk. Oh god. Freckled kid and a jerk? What a combination. He said my hair looked like the color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves! I mean, it's not sound that bad. Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. And yet he acts like nothing happened. He even called me Lady Nelly, for goodness sake. Wait, so he's not a jerk? What the hell? Shame on you. Are you listening, dearest Mel? I'm listening. I wonder what the ruckus earlier was. So do I. You weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that? Sorry, but aren't you curious? It probably wasn't another guest, at least. Maybe a cat snuck in. You think so? I do. But enough about that. Would you like to play cards in my room, dearest Mel? Seriously, I'm exhausted though. It's not even that late. Huh. Fine. Something feels off. A cat? I want to go check. Come on, hurry up. Hold on. You don't intend to drag me, Nelly. My birthday isn't over yet, so you're not done attending to me. Oh, Nelly. The rain. Gulp. Can already say the atmosphere is fantastic. Nice loading screen? It's like literally music for half a second. Let's save again real quick. Bruh. Even the save, like even the saving menu is getting me super nostalgic. The rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all the storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. I'm sure Nelly was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog. I can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything. But I'm not going to fall asleep just lying here. The only sound that could be heard in the dark corridors was a sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Let's get a full picture here. That's quite creepy. I kind of wish the picture were better quality, but again, this game is like giga old. So, it's understandable. Still, the message comes across. Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night, the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth veiled in the shadows. Oh, so this is inside the house. No moonlight shone through the windows. So he naturally found himself moving cautiously despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palms of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But to where was he supposed to head? Mel, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path to destination lit by flashes of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mel was slowly but surely drawing nearer to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls. Past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled. Into another corridor. And then stop outside an Abigail's bedchamber. The dim glow of a lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person movement or vibration in the air from someone speaking. The slightest of motion can cause the light of fire to quiver, shifting subtly, as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. I can see the light from inside. Is she still awake? A voice. He seems to be hesitating. It would not be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside, but he had reservations about peeping in on another's chambers, even if it was his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind the door. What would you do, master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your own curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? I shouldn't be doing this, but the voice, it feels like it's calling to me or someone else. Yes, me, could sense someone watching me at that moment. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain as invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seems to create a faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotion. However, I could not begin to speculate as to his true feelings or how great a surprise this was to him. I too am discovering new facts of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it is not I who is of concern, master. It is you. You and Mel. I know I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be ashamed of myself, but I can't look away. Who is that? Yeah, who is that? Her skin, it's so pale you can practically see through it. Is it that white because she was out in the cold rain? Her hair is white as snow and her eyes, they're like how do you describe it? My vocabulary truly lacks for a situation like this. They look like blood. No, that's just disturbing. Then why perhaps? No, more translucent than that. Gemstones then? Yes, gemstones. Her eyes are like rubies. I've never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Mel's eyes were fixed on the peculiar young woman. She had a glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and the snow-white hair flowered like luxurious silk. But her lips were bluish-purple, her soft, delicate skin solid with grime, her twinkled eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair disheveled mess. I never heard this word before. She was, even at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, and her garb a little more than rags. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden underneath. Even wrapped in a veil of insolubility. Even if she thought herself is hideous, I wonder what happened to her. Mel could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt for peeping. As he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice arose from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble was the sound a gentle breeze blowing through the room could carry it away. I apologize for the trouble. The maid, think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There is something strangely comforting about this house, almost as if I have been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. I'm sorry about your father. There's nothing you could have done, I imagine. When he came to our rescue, he was already... Rescue? Father? Was that perchance what the commotion was about? Huh. He stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to other more effectively than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him there as well. She flickered her gem-like eyes upwards. Oh, she's looking at us. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of fear. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 2 steps away. Did she catch me? I'm not sure. If it was only for a moment, she can't have seen me. The boy did not have the courage to peek in on the room a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber as quietly as he could manage. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase that girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind, nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. Who could she be? The white-haired girl and the maid. Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imaginations, are sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within the house. A witch? I have not heard of such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes. I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name is Slim Shady. Sorry, I had to say it. L? Oh, it's cut off. Oh, I remember something. Wake up. Get up, Mel. Huh? It's morning. You disappoint me, dearest Mel. It's very much long since morning. I did not see you at breakfast, so I came to find you. Found out what was the matter. I've really been asleep that long. And father is too lenient on you, dearest Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. But before that, yes, dearest Mel, what are you doing in here? You can't just go prancing into a boy bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. That was long ago. Things are different now. Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleepyhead. Okay, and I guess that's it for now. We are going to save. And that's about it for today, guys. Wow, an hour of recording went by so quick. The lore is actually really, really good for starters. I mean, we're already 1 hour in, and I feel super invested into the story because it does seem like to be really, really good. So much mystery, and honestly, again, I'm saying this word a lot today. I know the nostalgia is just eating me up from the inside. I mean, games like this are kind of long forgotten. I haven't played this in a long time. It reminds me of like high school days, you know, the good old days. But yeah, pretty much, so a lot of nostalgia coming up from this game. And it's really good. So I really hope to continue it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this first part. Hopefully there'll be plenty of more to come because I do plan of finishing this game. But that's all for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.